Hey, dude, what's up? So, I was thinking about those crazy stories where people do something super dumb and it all goes sideways in the most epic way possible. You know, the kind that make you shake your head and go, man, what were they thinking? These are like real life reminders that sometimes overconfidence or a bad idea can lead to some seriously unfortunate endings. I've got a bunch of wild ones to share with you today, perfect for a chill video script. Grab a beer, sit back, and let's dive in. I'll keep it light with some sarcasm because honestly, these folks kinda asked for the chaos. First off, picture this. There's this lady who absolutely adored her pet python. Like, really adored it. She let it cuddle up with her in bed every night, wrapping around her like a living blanket. Super cozy, right? Wrong. One day, the snake just stops eating altogether. She's worried sick, so she takes it to the vet. The vet checks it out and drops this bombshell. Ma'am, your snake isn't sick. It's just clearing out its stomach because it's been sizing you up as the next big meal. Turns out, all that cuddling was the python measuring her length, rehearsing how to swallow her whole. She didn't buy it at first, of course. Who would? But yeah, nature has a sarcastic way of saying, hey, predator's gonna predate. Moral here? Maybe stick to cats or dogs for bedtime buddies. Snakes have their own agenda, bro. Next up, we've got these two buddies in the UK back in the 90s, hanging out after a few too many drinks. You know how it goes. Alcohol turns regular guys into daredevil geniuses. One of them bets the other that a phone book can totally stop a knife stab. Like, bet you can't pierce this thick book if I hold it against my chest. The other guy, being a supportive friend, grabs a knife and goes for it. Spoiler. Phone books back then weren't as bulletproof as they thought. The blade slips right through the pages and, well, things take a permanent turn for the worse. Talk about a bet gone bad. Sarcasm alert. Nothing says brotherly love like testing physics with sharp objects after a pub crawl. Guys, if you're going to play stupid games, maybe don't aim for stupid prizes. Okay, shifting gears to the States. This dude is at war with cockroaches in his apartment. He's fed up, sees those little invaders everywhere, and decides it's time for the nuclear option. The bug spray instructions say something like 1 can per room, ventilate well. But nah, he's going full Rambo. He grabs 20 cans, sprays the place like it's a fog machine at a concert, seals up the windows and doors, and sits down to wait for the roaches to wave the white flag. What he didn't count on, all that aerosol build-up turning his apartment into a giant flammable cloud. One tiny spark, probably from the fridge kicking on, and boom. The whole place erupts like a bad action movie. Walls blown out, chaos everywhere. And the best part? The cockroaches? They probably just scurried away laughing. This guy basically turned his home into a DIY fireworks show. Pro tip. Read the label, man. Overkill isn't always the kill you're hoping for. Now, for a classic romantic mishap. Imagine a couple pulling over on this scenic hilltop for some private time in the car. Beautiful view, stars out, you get the idea. They're getting all caught up in the moment, things are heating up, and in the excitement, they accidentally bump the gear shift. Thing is, the driver forgot to set the parking brake properly. Next thing you know, the car's rolling downhill toward a steep drop. They're too distracted to notice right away, and the vehicle takes an unplanned scenic tour off the edge. Oof, Sarcasm incoming. Nothing spices up a date night like forgetting basic car safety. Always use that parking brake, folks. It's there for a reason, especially on hills. All right, this one's wild. There's this person, desperate for a curvier figure, but short on cash for a legit doctor. So, they go to some shady underground expert who promises quick results on the cheap. The procedure? Injecting a homemade mix of construction cement, superglue, and tire sealant right into the backside. Yeah, you heard that right. Building materials where they definitely don't belong. At first, it might have looked okay, but that stuff isn't meant for the human body. It hardens, causes massive complications like blockages in the blood vessels, and leads to a total disaster. Brutal way to learn that shortcuts in cosmetics can backfire spectacularly. Come on, if it's cheaper than a real doctor's visit and involves hardware store supplies, maybe pump the brakes. Pun intended. Last one, and it's a golfer's nightmare from back in '94. This teenage kid named Jeremy Breno is out on the course with his buddies, having a rough day. He slices a shot or something, gets super frustrated. We've all been there, right? And in a moment of rage, he swings his club full force at a nearby bench. Bad idea. The metal shaft snaps clean off, ricochets back like it's got a grudge, and hits him right in the chest with pinpoint accuracy. Game over in the most ironic way possible. Sarcastic take, golf is supposed to be relaxing, dude. If you're gonna lose your cool, maybe just yell at the ball instead of turning your club into a boomerang. Woo, that's a wrap on these tales of what not to do, my friend. Life's full of risks, but these folks cranked the dumb meter to 11 and paid the ultimate price for it. The sarcasm writes itself. Like evolution's got a sense of humor, picking off the ones who ignore basic common sense. If you're watching this, just remember, think twice, laugh at the absurdity, and maybe don't try any of this at home. Stay smart out there, bro. Catch you next time.